1, 2, 3, 4.
Hey. What is going on? How are you, ladies?
Good.
I miss you all.
Right? I miss you,
Oh
ladies.
my goodness. So much to tell. So much to tell.
Wow.
Yeah, so today's topic is really good.
On point.
Yes, it's very on point.
On point.
Yes, very intentional, very on point. Today we're going to talk about pushing forward through the chaos, right? So as we all know, and as everything that has been trying to test us, we build muscles right through that. And so the world will also test us. People's going to disappoint us intentionally or unintentionally. Mm-hmm. But that part of life, the chaotic part of life, is just unavoidable. It is going to happen no matter what it is. But what's in your control, what's in our control is how we respond to it. How do we protect our peace in the midst of chaos? That is what today's topic is about. And how do we continue to move forward in the midst of chaos? So does anybody want to open up?
D, go ahead, D. I feel it in you.
Like, just put me out there, huh? Just put me out there. Wow. Okay. Hello, everyone. Hello. Wow. Chaos, huh?
Yes.
Hey, everyone.
How do we move forward?
How am I moving forward? Wow.
In the midst of chaos.
Yeah. I have to let that resonate, actually, ladies. I really did. So, wow. You know, I feel like I'm prepared to deal with chaos at this point, my whole life, actually. You know, all of us, man. Oh, wait, it's like, I'm a soldier. And
I'm a survivor. Keep on surviving.
Oh, my goodness. Okay. All right.
Bibles out this week. The English and the Spanish one.
Man, yeah. Come on, somebody. I go bilingual in here. No, let me stop. Okay, so I think wow, and chaos, I think it's all about like intention and faith, and like that the deeper commitment of living in alignment, and that's what shapes us during chaos. I think it's easy for us to fall off, especially when we're faced with chaos, and it's either going to make you or break you, and it's also going to test the waters with the relationships around you as well. And that's who your people are. You're going to know who's for you. It's not about, we're all adults, especially during this time. Okay, sorry, ladies. It's not about who, we're all adults. So everyone has their own lives. So we're all going through something. We're all dealing with things during this time. So it's like, okay, you're getting too quiet. What's going on with you? I know we all going through something, but hey, I hear you. You good? But also knowing that I had to take this on. And those who know you truly, they know you, they're gonna be like, sis, you don't gotta fight this alone. Bro, you don't got to fight this alone. What you need?
That's why we got our circle.
What do you need? What do you need? Right? Yeah, wow. So it's like that you're being able to push forward, and it's not so much of a loss because chaos does produce loss, but it also produces those lessons and those losses.
Strength through chaos.
And strength. Yes. Yes. And knowing how to survive. Because if you don't know how to survive in chaos, something is wrong.
Exactly.
And you can't have that victim mentality, because guess what? We are more than conquerors. We are victorious in and out of seasons, even when we're going through that chaos.
Exactly. Exactly. I absolutely agree. And I think that it's important for us to show up just as leaders as well, because there's people counting on us. I know that sounds really weird to say, but there really is. People are counting on us to show up, not only for ourselves. Yes, we have to show up for ourselves first, because first and foremost, you can't pour from an empty cup. But there's also other people, us being community leaders and us being role models, us being entrepreneurs. There are people, including our children and family, who do count on us to show up. I know
Yeah.
that's like a lot of responsibility, but that is also something to consider and think about too, because if we fail, we're not only failing ourselves, we're failing the community, we're failing the children, but it's also important for us to take time to ourselves and for us to be able to recognize what our strengths and weaknesses are, and don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to surround yourself with a circle of community of women and or men, if you're a guy watching, there's guys who do support you as well. I have male friends who will show up, so it's important to recognize who is in your corner and who will be there in the midst of your chaos to help lift you up, because truly we can't do it alone, right? So that's my point on it
So
as
that brings
well.
my point. I would say that in the midst of chaos, which I feel like 2026 has started with a big C, but I'm not going to even claim it, because we were talking about alignment. And I think through this alignment, chaos has been sifted in and
Mm,
out of the journey, if I could just say that. So, like for me, the difference between who I am and who I have been taught to be is really breaking apart internally, but it's manifesting externally, right? So, like an example, yesterday we had a brunch. I had a lot of different individuals that I had invited, some from 20 years
mhm,
ago, connected with,
mhm.
who don't know the changes and dynamics of my family, which is not as relevant. But I wanted them to see the powerful move that I had agreed to connect, right? The business divas, the soul sis, and things of that nature. So I think for me, navigating through the chaos, but coming out a different individual, and not just who I have been or who I want to be, but the person who I'm designed to be. So I think for me, it's just the difference between who I am and who I've been taught to be, whether it's culture, religion, my community, my sisterhood. So those are things that I'm navigating through. So I think that's the best way to navigate through it. Just understand that through this chaos, there's a divine alignment that happens. So
Yes, yes. And I was thinking to myself, it's also going to take for me personally discipline too, because I have felt very heavy lately, and I have felt a lot of um, like pressure on my chest, and just physically,
yeah,
emotionally, and just drained. And I don't know if it's the weather. Also, I get this way around winter time, right? A lot of us have like, vitamin D deficiency, and then we're just like, all of a sudden, why are we so stressed? And so for me, I really think it starts with nourishing my body, which I don't do enough of, or I'm not intentionally doing enough of. Nourishing my body, drinking my water, setting time aside to exercise, to do those things, to pour into myself, I think is also as important to allow me to shift and move into the chaotic things that are happening in my life. And I don't know if you've seen my post yesterday. Was one of those hard days. Yesterday was a hard day. I didn't really want to get out of bed, and I just had, just one of those days where you just had to just push yourself to get up and out. And for me, like, hey, Miss Lawanda, hey, Mari. So for me, it's like, I deal with a lot of things behind the scenes that, I don't talk about all the time or share socially all the time. But yesterday I did share that I have had custody of as a foster parent to my grandkids on top of my 2 boys that I'm already a single mom to. And so a lot of things were weighing on me as of lately. The fact of being a single mom, being a widow, having to, and not to say it's a victim mentality, but it's just the facts, the truth, right? Of, hey, this is where it stands right now. These are the things I'm responsible for. And all of a sudden it just felt heavy, right? To not have that, just feel out of control, right? Sometimes yesterday I felt out of control, like, okay, I cannot control my situation, but what do I do about it? And yesterday I was getting a little like just really down because I wanted to go to the Business Diva brunch, right? And I wanted to go to the Business Diva brunch, but I didn't have a sitter. I didn't have anybody. I literally asked 9 people if they were available to help me and watch the kids for me for that brief period so that I can attend the Business Diva, and no one was available. So it's just like, what the heck? I can't even have control over that part of my life. Like it's just one of those things where, okay, how can I be proactive? Because it was my fault, right? Really shining the microscope back on yourself. What could you have done differently to control the outcome? And as for me, self-reflecting, it's like, okay, I didn't give these people enough notice, right? I didn't plan because I didn't know, I wasn't expecting to go. I didn't plan this effectively, right? So a lot of times we sit there and we play victim, right? We play victim. Woe's me. What did they do to me? But we have to learn and normalize reflecting on ourselves. What could we have done to control the outcome? And if there was nothing for us to control, then let it go. If we can't control it, let it go and control what we can control, right? Which is, what are the alternatives? What can you do better next time? What could you have changed for next time? So those are some of the things that, I learned yesterday in the midst of my chaos. So
Yeah. Interject, it's wild because I had all these 40 plus. I mean, I counted them because, the social media will tell you, but I had over 40, like, hey, we know you having fun doing this and doing that. And it was like unintentionally, but intentionally, I was posting things that, made it seem like I was very, very busy. Now, yeah, granted, I did go out and have dinner with my children. They, they bought me my favorite snacks. It was like 10, 12 things. And the simple gesture that they made, of course, you ladies, gave me much love, as you always do, even in your schedules. It's just, I was sick. I mean, I was literally like, my asthma started acting up at 3:00 in the morning. I'm literally almost dizzy, passing out, nebulizer, albuterol with the breathing treatment and steroids. And it's like everywhere I wanted to go and everything I wanted to do, there was this force that was unknown that I couldn't explain, that only allowed me to get up 5:30, get to the office till 9:00. My body was so drained, so tired physically. Come home till 1:00 just to have enough time to get back to work by 1:30 and work till 4. Now, mind you, calling me, asking me, fashion show this and that, this and that, this and that. I still got my kids calling me from lunch. I'm home and I need this and I need that. And I am truly working on a blended family. That means dad is doing certain things or not doing certain things. Mom is doing certain things, not doing certain things, which is not something I vocalize, but mentally, a lot of pressure, when you're used to doing it all being married. So with all that, it was tough. And, it started like almost on my birthday till like just last week. And I'm like, man, this is the month of love and I'm supposed to be happy and showing self-love and doing. But again, I don't want to count it as chaos, although it was a lot going on. But at the same time, I know something happened with her and her family and stuff. And I was just like, everybody that I would lean on is having something detrimental happening to them. So it's like, we talk about our sisterhood, but it's very important that you touch base with individuals. And I know we talk about us three and we connect, but when the spirit leads me, guides me, or you're in my heart and in my mind, yes, I'm going to be sending you that affirmation. I'm going to send you that song, whether you understand, right? Whether it connects with you or not, because you have to be intentional with those connections, because you never know what somebody is going. You have to be intuitive and in the spirit. Like Dee's been mentioning a lot meditation. I'm like, well, I don't meditate. I'm a church girl, but meditation is like, you don't have to talk to God. If you want to, you can. You can journal, but just sit in quiet. Don't let nobody Don't do the text messages, social media, just quiet. I'm not used to that. I'm like 48, just turned 40, and I thank God for it. But she said, she's just like, meditate. And I'm like, well, what happens when you meditate again? Like, I literally have to Google it. Be still. And A would be still. And the spirit remind me, like, be still. Know that I am God. In the midst of this chaos, you can't control it. You mentioned that just a second ago. You don't have to control it. The outcome, the current season, just stand still.
Yeah, and a lot of times we want to sit and control the narrative, but we have to also remember that everything happens for a reason, for a season, and for an intent to take you to the next level. And you have to remember, like, and then your problems. Do you guys remember your problems that you had this very same exact day, maybe 2 years ago? Like, what was your worrying about then? So just know that everything you're going through is temporarily, and it's just to help push you to something new, or push you to the next level. And that's truly awesome.
And sometimes people repeat their same problems year after year, and sometimes days after days, because they have not learned. And that's just the truth of the reality. And that's how cycles repeats itself, rather generation after generation, because people are trying to repeat the narrative, or because they're trying, not repeat the narrative, but because they're trying to control it, or they're so used to the function.
Absolutely.
Oh, this is what my grandma taught me, or this is what my mama taught me, or this is what I'm used to doing. We don't talk about that enough. And because, like I said, you have to either allow the chaos to either grow you or break you, or change you or shape you. That's the only way you're going to come out.
Absolutely. And then some.
Go ahead.
I
just wanted to mention that sometimes, can I say this delicately? Sometimes we create the chaos ourselves.
Yes, I was just about to say that. We self-sabotage. Absolutely.
Myself, I'm 48, so I'm the big girl. No, I'm little sister, whatever role. But with the roles, like, we're caretaker, we're peacemakers, we're strong and silent, and then we're achievers. All of those are different roles that we can play at different times. But there's times, I have 2 adult kids. This year I have 3. And, my son, he works with the family business. I was like, okay, I need you to do this, this, and that at the office, because I'm literally, like, not feeling well. They're like, go to the ER, get admitted. But no, that can't happen for me. I can delegate. I can let other people do whatever they're going to do, no matter the outcome, because it becomes chaos when you try to do everything, be everything for everything. And then you're sitting there like boo-boo the fool, like,
yes.
Because I made the decisions to help everyone, and we're not Jesus Christ. So we're not going to die on the cross and sacrifice ourselves for everyone.
Come on. You in my ministry. That's why 2026, I'm like, nope. No, gracefully. No.
3 times. Love her. Dying out. Mamita, I'm an adult. You got to figure out the battle.
You were talking about self-sabotage, and that is a real thing, and that is something that we do without being fully aware of it, right? And I say this often to people that when I do hear them self-sabotaging, right, they're making up problems in their head that haven't even existed yet, and that's what ends up happening.
But let's talk about that, because we can self-sabotage ourselves, but we cannot say that others are self-sabotaging themselves. That is where I draw the line, because me personally, this is just my opinion. I'm not God. I'm not God, and I'm not a therapist. So I can't say somebody else is inflicting pain on themselves if they don't feel like they're inflicting pain on themselves.
Where did
if what's working for them, I don't know. If it's working for them, and if they know in their heart that they're being taken advantage of, or if something's not right or sitting right with them, who am I to tell them that they're being drained, or if somebody's playing off on them? That's not self-sabotaging. They are very aware that somebody's taking advantage of them. That's not self-sabotage. That's emotional intelligence. Now, It's one thing to know that, hey, I'm self-sabotaging myself. So I can speak from that point of view. And I can say personally and speak from that point of view, hey, I'm self-sabotaging myself. Because then I could speak from my own personal experience. But now to put that on somebody else and speak from that personal experience, I can't speak from that personal experience. I can speak only from my own personal experience.
Right, absolutely. And what I mean by that is people who predict the problems before it happens. That's what I'm talking about.
A lot of people got
that. I'm talking
but a lot
about.
of people got see, and that's another thing I had to disagree with. Because I could see things before it happened, and I could allow things play out. As soon as I allow things play out, it happens exactly how I said it's going to happen, and it happens so many times. So that's not self-sabotage either.
Okay. What are your thoughts, Carlotta? She just saying.
Y'all excuse me. My internet went off and went back on.
So for me, like,
and then it comes back in full circle, because I could have conversations with people, or I could call something out, and I'm not talking about just individuals. I'm talking about like high-ranking officials, or I'm talking about business owners. I'm talking about corporate officers, and they'll come back to me and like, "Damn, D, you called that out." That's not self-sabotaging. I wouldn't say
discernment sometimes hurts. Oh, she said discernment sometimes hurts.
Yes.
Yeah, you can sense things. Now there's one thing to sense something, but there's one thing to be like, oh, I can't do this because XYZ. You're not calling anybody else out, but your own problem. Like, you're holding yourself back because you're self-sabotaging by saying, I can't do this.
Like, I have limits.
Right.
That's not self-sabotaging either. If somebody says I can't do XYZ, that's letting you know I have boundaries. I'm not doing that.
No,
I have to tell people
I can't do that, or somebody's saying, listen, I'm not saying somebody's saying they can't do something, but like, if somebody's saying, like, predicting something bad is going to happen to them. Why would you say that's all? That's what I'm saying. You're going over here about
fear. That's fear. But that goes back to saying, if they have a fear, that's real too. That's again goes back to saying that they have a real fear. That's what I'm saying. That there's boundaries and limits. Like, that's not real self-sabotage.
Right. And I understand that everybody's going to have those fears, but I'm just saying because our point of being on this podcast is to help those people, right?
Yeah.
Is to help them to overcome those fears. And that's where I'm getting at. I'm not talking about anybody or saying that that's wrong to do that, or saying it's wrong to feel that way. I'm just saying that if you do feel this way, here are some resources, or here is some things to do instead that will help you grow. And that's where I'm getting at. So I'm not disregarding anybody's feelings or what their thoughts are, because like you said, I'm not a therapist either. I'm saying there are ways to handle those things to be able to overcome. If you are living in the midst of chaos, if you are living in a place where you just feel hopeless, then there are things that you can do, or practices that you can put in place that will allow you to be in a better place, to be in a better headspace.
Okay,
there are certain things that you can do to mentally change your mindset, to be able to think more positively or have a more positive outcome, or at least shoot for it, because you're manifesting it, or because you're speaking it, or because you're writing down your goals, or journaling like you had, you would mention, or just praying for a better outcome. That's what I'm saying. But a lot of times,
so even in that case, so when I mentor like other young women, and using that scenario, if they have like that sort of like imposter syndrome, and if there's a fear like that, maybe that's something that they're not called to do. So maybe you tap into other things that they probably feel like they're talented in, or they have a passion for it. It's not so much of like, hey, I'm gonna force you to do it anyways, because if you feel forced to do something, you are most likely not going to do it, because now you're forcing somebody to do something, or forcing them to, open up to something that they really are not going to do. Because now I feel like you're forcing me to do something, and now you're calling me out on something, and that's also like gaslighting tricks. So now let's get you into something that you have a passion for. Instead of like highlighting, like, oh no, you're self-sabotaging yourself. No, that's not self-sabotaging. That's more so like, okay, so what do you feel comfortable doing?
Yeah, that's part of coaching. It has to be their idea, or they're not going to be motivated to do it. It has to be their idea, right?
And why don't you feel like you're not called to do it? And so it's like, now let me get the history of why you don't feel comfortable doing it. What was your experience in this? So let me dig more into this.
Absolutely.
If I can say something, we're still talking about navigating through this chaos. I'm
yes.
And
that's navigating through the chaos.
I do want to say this, as we're talking back and forth, we have different views. How do I say this without saying it? The reality is that for me, I've been part of the youth department. I used to publicly speak when I was a youth up to college. Then I got married, stopped speaking. And I've always helped others gain success. So how Laura talked about helping others financially and so on and so forth. She got you, she got me. She connected with us in certain life seasons. Here we are today. For me, that imposter syndrome or whatever, the right term is, how you say, I was truly my own success. I'm just being real. That started to resonate within me because people saw that I had nice clothes or nice accessories, or I look nice, or I dress up nice, or like yesterday, you put makeup on now, you doing this now. I'm like, I got a little bit more shine on my hands, and that's my birthday. It's not my birthday anymore, but you know what I'm saying. Right. Like, my kids are now adults. My baby is now 10. You see what I'm saying? My eldest adult son is about to graduate from college. So I say all that to say I got more time to care about myself. Not that I should have done it different before, but just the reality when it hit you. And I was like, okay, it's okay if they see that you, even though you might be in a struggle now, even though financially the coin is not coining and the dollars are not.
Maybe did you say the coins are not coining?
You still have to step out. You still have to step out.
The coins are not coining. The dollars are not dollaring. Oh boy.
And when I get to writing with the rest of the women in our team and with each other, visionaries, let's make sure we run that money and make sure we do what we got to do to strengthen each other, because there's opportunity. I can sit there and do all these fashion shows by myself, but what do I look like making the clothes, walking down the runway, and encouraging myself?
Right.
Had 5 C-sections and are mixed like me, can even empathize. But if I bring other women of other cultures, other body types, and yet throwing a couple guys up in there just for the heck of it, and throw children, that's then it's a whole different movement. And that's what the Lord is me, even in the midst of chaos. Like, you can't designate, don't be just biased and only men or only people this way or only church girls or whatever. Yeah, I'm a niche down and I'm a church girl and I'm gonna look to do certain things in the fashion world, but the impact has to be global. It has to be universal. And I've understood it. There's strength in unity. There is. It
really is.
I love it.
Absolutely. Yes. So what are some things you think that people are going through right now? Like chaotic stuff.
Mental health?
Specifically.
Yeah. I think that's top. Mental health, financial issues. I think I would say loneliness, even if they are around a lot of people, they could probably be portraying, one way. I really believe this because I'm like, okay. Especially talking to other, people.
Body image, beauty standards, we don't do it on. But can we talk about the fashion, since we all can connect with that, right?
Yes.
Jump down this podcast with a bonnet.
Right.
Y'all at me a little different.
Come on, listen, look.
Oh,
Pa texted me. She said, "Yeah, we all the 4 ladies." I'm like, okay.
but the reality is, beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Yes.
Like as I'm on, it was red, and it matched the theme. But because I got my fedora, I got my shirt, I got a little set. But the reality, girl, I just took the T-shirt off that I've been wearing for the last 2 days because I really didn't want to do nothing but take a shower because I did. But it's real, and mentally, you go through stuff. I'm not saying I got mental health issues, and if I do, it ain't none of y'all business. But at the end of the day, being real. My thing is, we're supposed to fix each other's crowns. We're supposed to be during our highs and our lows, and because life can be chaotic, and the devil is the author of confusion, right? Mm-hmm. But God is the creator of light, and therefore it has to come from us, even in our darkest moment. And I'm telling you, I was like, I can't breathe. And Laura's like, go to the hospital. I'm like, listen, don't nobody understand what I'm saying. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to sit in this house and meditate and thank God for and wholeness, because I got 5 kids. I got multiple projects I'm working on. I got work. I got to get generating my household. But yeah, it took a lot of just.
I hear you. I hear you. You already know my story. My son. I'm glad my son is still alive. I'm gonna say that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jesus.
Yes. Yes.
My car was total. My car was total. So your girl, I'm like the explorer on this Metro luxury station.
Oh my! In the negative freezing weather.
In the negative weather, snow.
In the negative weather.
And I'm still getting around. Look, and I'm still getting around. And still getting around from Skokie to, up north to the city of Chicago, back to Tinley Park. I'm still handling business. I'm still, stacking my paper. I'm now getting ready to move. So I'm packing now so I can relocate to Madison.
How do you feel?
And I'm still working on my business. I'm still getting clients. I'm still doing community collaboration. And, can't nobody tell me like you can't do work, you can't collaborate, you can't do business. And I'm a divorcee, and my children is about to leave to the Marine. So yes, we are going through something. I'm still making it happen, and I have faith, and God by my side, and I'm not moving any differently. I'm still showing love. I'm still giving peace. I'm still collaborating. I'm still extending the olive branch. No. Absolutely. Ain't no way. I'm sorry, ain't no way in hell. I'm gonna say that. Ain't no way in hell, So I understand.
Yeah.
I understand. I understand,
But chaos is unavoidable. It's unavoidable.
It really is.
It's not if it's gonna happen, it's when. When is it gonna happen? When's the next chaos gonna happen? Are you equipped to overcome that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like we have gone through collectively so much between the 3 of us that nothing is going to stop us. Everything is figure outable. We gonna figure it out.
It's figure outable.
Yes, we are. We look for solutions.
That's the difference between someone who is going to be able to overcome their chaos, right? Are you someone that plays a victim mentality, or are you somebody that is going to play victor mentality, right? Are you going to be the one who creates the problem that hasn't happened yet? Or are you going to be the one who is going to create the solutions if the problem were to happen? Okay, well, let's take it a step further. Okay, fine. You're thinking this is going to happen. Let's be proactive about that. Should that happen, what is your course of action? That's taking control of your life. That's taking control of the situation so that you're not stressed, so that you already have the solutions. If you have a problem, okay, what's the worst case scenario if this were to happen? Okay, what's the best case scenario if this problem that I'm figuring out in my head is going to happen? Then what are steps or things that I could do to resolve it? So I can list it out ahead of time. Should it happen, what can I do about it? Right? So that's how you kind of navigate through this chaos, because it's not if it's going to happen, it's when it's going to happen.
If I can, you know what I think, Matt,
go ahead.
I think that's it right there. That's the key, especially since we're all like seasoned.
We're seasoned chaos survivors.
Entrepreneurs. We know how to roll. No.
We're seasoned chaos survivors.
Yeah, I'm
you guys are listening
you know,
to
but
an
I'm ready to be in my. I'm so ready to be in my soft girl era. You just don't know. But I'm about to give myself. I'm gonna give myself that soft girl era. Watch. Just watch.
Absolutely.
But
Listen.
I think it's about planning, and that's what I've been doing these last few weeks. I'm like, okay, let me plan. So I have a strategy plan now. So I'm like, okay, so this happened, this happened, this happened, this happened. Okay, now I know that everything won't go according to plan.
Yeah.
So in the event,
it won't. It usually don't.
In the event, I know I have to pivot.
Yes.
is yeah, I'm like, God, why do I always have to pivot?
Right.
Prayer, faith, going back to prayer, faith, and meditation, but also, rolling with the punches. Sometimes we cannot always have the answers, and God intended it that way. God intended for us not to have all the answers. He's like, I want you to trust me and have faith in me.
Life is a
because
surprise.
I promise, life is full of surprises at this point. I wish I could just go by. For the past 20 years of my life, I've been having a routine life.
Yes.
Yes.
Hey, Queen.
There's been
Hey, Marlene. Hey, Crystal.
surprises along the way. How my life has been pretty routine at the same time.
Yeah. Is your cell phone on? Somebody's cell phone on? Life is definitely full of surprises. I don't know, right? I know it sounds like it. There's hi, Crystal. So our condolences to Crystal and her family. Her stepdad, not her stepdad, her kid's grandfather was found pulled out of the river. And so
oh my goodness,
my condolences to their family. Yeah, he's the one that was on the news for, is it East Dundee? That river. It was the body that was pulled out. It was his grandmother. Yeah.
Was that the gentleman they said was missing in Elgin? Oh my goodness.
It's her children's grandfather. Yeah, so so our prayers out to you and your family, Miss Crystal. Yes. Oh, it's not the river, it's the creek. Okay. It's the creek. Yes. Okay. Got it. Whew. So yeah. So you know, like how do you navigate through that, right? Rather it's death, tragic death. It's separation. It's somebody disappoints you. Like it's not when they disappoint. It's not if they disappoint you. We're all human. We're going to. It's when people disappoint you. I disappoint people apparently all the time because I'm the blame to everything. So I'm okay with that. But how do you navigate through the disappointment if I or somebody else has disappointed you? What you can control,
Yeah, a lot of things is outside of our capacity and scope. I think we're only in control of ourselves. So with that being said, prayer, meditation, and forgiveness is not for them, it's for us. Make our peace with it. A lot of things I've learned. I was listening to Pastor Hannah's 9:30 service today live. And basically he said that some things you have to leave at the altar, and I'm just paraphrasing. But at the same time, we need to move forward gracefully. Some things you don't even need to conversate about no more because we're at an age where we're too grown to be revisiting and conversating about certain stuff.
Yeah.
Make your peace. Stop being messy and being the messenger or third party to situation and just be like, peace.
Let's move on.
Because come on, what are we doing if it's not elevating us, if we're not growing each other, if we're not serving each other any purpose, what are we really doing?
Yeah.
What are we really doing?
Yeah.
We're supposed to make the world better.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, and we should
Too
be
grown,
showing
too
up
old,
to inspire.
wisdom.
Yeah, absolutely.
You already know.
Positive
Straight.
vibes only. Positive vibes only.
Yes. Like, come
So
on.
yeah,
Look,
and
I
you
know
know,
I'm full of love, roses
yeah,
and sunshine. Like,
yeah.
you want the Sour Patch Kid? Be what? What do
Right.
you want?
Exactly. What? How can I help you? But don't get it twisted now, because
Look.
you know you want the old Laura to come out, or you want me to respond with the new Laura. You want me to
Yeah,
respond with the
I,
old
Look,
I,
Laura?
like
So
what?
don't get it
Like
twisted
what?
now.
But
I'm a
they
nice
shouldn't even
girl,
have
but
that.
hey,
Don't even allow them
if I
to
could,
control.
if I could say,
I can't hear you.
She
Hello.
broke up. Carlotta.
Yeah.
She froze.
Whatever she's using is
can
giving
I?
me a signal that she has low browser space on her device, whatever device she's using. That's why she's breaking up.
Oh.
So I don't know if she's on her phone or her laptop, but it's saying it's low disk space. So for some reason, it's not allowing her to be fully present.
Oh, okay. She gonna come. Yeah,
She'll be
that's
back.
good. That's really good. This is a good. Yeah, she gonna come back. She gonna.
She'll
Okay,
be
now
back.
let me say what I was gonna say. Yeah, this
Yes,
is
go
a good
ahead.
topic.
Say what you got to say. Yes, say what you got to say.
No, I said she gonna come back. She said, "Okay, I'm
Oh,
back.
oh,
Let me
oh,
see what I have
oh,
to say." Yeah, no, this is a good topic, and it's needed because it is a lot going on. Rather,
it
it's
is.
in our lives and around the world because it's
Yes,
so much stuff
it's so much. But
taking
you know, we
place.
always too have to remember.
There
We
she
have to
go.
remember as well, garbage in, garbage out. What you're gonna allow,
Mm,
right? You
yeah,
let
seriously.
you hear things, you look at things, you see things. That's gonna consume you. So at what point do you watch what you see, watch what you let in, watch who you let in, watch who you surround yourself with, and garbage in. We're talking about garbage in, garbage out.
Garbage out.
So if you're
Garbage in,
allowing that
garbage
garbage
out.
to come in, if you're watching the news, I don't know about you, but if I sit there and watch the damn news all the time,
No,
I get
no,
miserable. I don't do
no.
that. Me and my late husband, we used to argue about the news all the time. And I'm like, please turn that off. I don't want to hear that. And
No,
Yeah,
he
I'm
would be
good.
like, no, we need to see what's going on in the world. And I said, trust and believe. If something crazy is going on, I will see it somewhere. Somebody will call me, or
Yeah.
I'll see it on my feed. I don't want to
yeah,
watch the news all day, every day, because
No, you're right.
it's gonna
Mm-mm.
depress you. I don't want to read all this political stuff all day, because it's just frustrating, and it's gonna
That's too
lower your
much. Look, let us do what we need to do. Let us do our part in the world. Like it'll catch up with us eventually. But until then, let us do what we need to do in the world to make a
Absolutely.
difference.
Carlotta,
all.
what were you saying before
okay.
everything
So
come
I, I'm learning as I navigate through chaos that I've been being really guided by my faith, my spirituality, and definitely my family values. Sometimes you just got to go back to the basics. Faith is a very unique thing. Spirituality is, what makes you in the spiritual. It doesn't necessarily have to be the relationship you got with God, but just what creates you to be a spiritual being versus a human being, right? So there's a
right?
concept, at least in my mind, there is. But definitely, my family values. My mom taught me you respect others, you treat others. She say the golden rule. Went to Sunday school. They started saying that at schools too. It's like you treat others the way you want to be treated. So if you around another lady, you treat her with respect. You talk to her with respect, and you assume that she's a person to be respected, no matter what's been said and done around her circle, and that
Yeah.
should be reciprocated. Now, when it's not, you got to make sure you address it. You put your boundaries. You make sure you're
Yes.
good verbally. I mean, we
Mm-hmm.
don't ever want to set boundaries physically, but there's times that people will come for you, and you got to make sure they know, like, no, I'm not the one to be played with. But all I'm saying
Mm-hmm.
that, hey, that goes back to my values. Like my mom taught me that people should respect you. They should know that I'm a businesswoman. I'm a mother. At the end of the day, yeah, I'm trying to be a spiritual being and not a human being, but I'm still human at the end of the day. So I have
Absolutely. Yeah.
flaws. You know
We
what
all
I'm
have
saying?
flaws. Mm-hmm.
No,
We
no,
all
I
have
agree. Yes, we all do. No one's perfect. And if anybody say they perfect or got it all together is a liar from the pit of hell. I'm sorry.
You are.
I'm sorry. No. You're a liar from the pits of hell. Talking about you. I don't care if you do got the Bible and you at church every Sunday, Wednesday, Monday, Friday. You a liar from the pits of hell.
But you know, I say all that to say, as you navigate through chaos, whether it's a relationship, whether it's employment, whether it's business, others don't always understand that. You know, Christian women or women in general, we're being held at a different platform, at a different level.
We are.
And like, yo, I just dealt with this, and I'm feeling XYZ. You know what I'm saying? So today's not the day you want to try that side of me, because it's not about. I'm just being real.
No, that's the truth. Because we got triggers, and then we have off days. So I'm like, come on, you do not want this today, because all it takes is that one thing. Like, come on, literally.
Yeah.
One.
Yeah.
Even if it's a look, like today is not the day. Today is not the day.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's the way we have to navigate with grace. We have to navigate with a lot of wisdom, because the enemy is out. You know, whoever you believe to be, if it's a person, a spirit, or a human, they're out there to seek, devour, and destroy, because they're being used by the enemy himself. And if we understand chaos is coming from a different dimension and a different source that is not the one that we seek, then we're able to sit. And like you said to me many times, Carlotta, did you meditate? I'm like, if she tell me to meditate one more time, I've already, you know, but sometimes you just got to stand still and see that. I keep on saying it. I'm going to say it again. You got to stand still, just see that he is God, and he's going to clarify. He's going to navigate you through any form of chaos. If you believe that and you trust that, then you breathe better, then you operate differently. And yeah, there's days that it's like chaos full. It's like the alphabet is C through C, chaos through chaos, but you have to go through that. And you need your sister, your community of individuals, whether it's your family for that season, maybe it's not, your children, your support system, your therapist, your pastor, you know what I'm saying? Seriously. Your boo, man, your husband, whatever the time, you're going to need somebody sometimes. And that's how I believe that I know personally I've navigated through chaos. My mother, I mean, can you please just fly in? And I mean, so I can just get a hug, because she lives in Puerto Rico. But the reality is you have to do it with grace, and you definitely have to be intentional with wisdom, because discernment is key. You like to my, I heard that. Sometimes people will show you who they are by their not necessarily their words. Hey, whatever I say, I'm a fashion designer, I'm bilingual, but I've shown you who I am through my actions, and that's louder than any words.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and to have the gift is it's a humbling experience, but it's scary. I cry sometimes because it's painful.
Yes,
because I've been hurt.
Yes,
and I give people the benefit of the doubt. I see things, and I pray and meditate that I unsee things. If that makes sense.
Yeah, but you can't unsee it when you see it in the spiritual.
I can't unsee it. I cannot unsee it. It's going to happen regardless. And it's heartbreaking.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Mari said, yes, me too.
Still navigating through the chaos. Yes.
Yeah. So, yep. And I just let things be. I just let it roll off.
Yeah. I agree.
And deal with it when it comes.
Exactly.
Because you can't control the narratives, you can't control the outcome.
You really can't. We think we have control, but as soon as we make plans, shoot, it's like, just kidding. That's not it.
It's funny because I shared a conversation with my mom, speaking of moms, and me and her, we had a long conversation, and she was like, y'all all exhibit a gift, but your gift is different. And I was like, Then she said, that's why we always told you, stay in the books, focus on your education, stay in the book, stay in the books, stay in the books, focus on your education. You love deeply, stay in the books. And I was like, oh, And I just cried.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
What do we do, right?
Yeah.
Keep on keeping on. Keep
And
on
if
moving forward.
in the midst of this chaos, there's certain versions of us, if I could say this again gracefully, that we have to pause. You know, for me, there's times I have to creative side. Sometimes I have to really pause my soft side, you know, and I have to be in my masculine energy, you know. And all I'm saying is at the end of the day, you have to figure out what version of you have to pause for that season to navigate chaos so that you can be, you know, and bloom, unfold, blossom, you know, fly away as a butterfly flies out of the cocoon. You have to be able to understand taking you where he's placing you, where he's moving you through in the midst of discernment. Because discernment is not, oh, it's something you gifted with, or just something you give. There's intention behind the creator who gifted you with this. And it's for you to not just separate yourself or to be amongst others who are deceitful, right? Or others who are trying to use you and abuse you. You have to use that discernment. There's times you have to, you know, pause it. You have to really pause it because it's like, no, I'm not going to be used, abused. I'm not going to be criticized, mocked, disrespected. And I'm saying that for everything. No, not just us as individuals, as women. I'm just saying there's
Yeah.
seasons you pause something. You know, it's like for me,
Yes.
like I got the 5 kids. I'm like, I can't be wrong right now. I just got to take care of my brain because
Yeah.
my mind is doing what it needs
Yes.
to do. Be everything for everyone.
Yes.
And then I'm saying,
Mhm.
I'm like, I'm the lamb before the community and the family. And yeah, no, I don't think they intend that. But you got, D said it best. You got to put those boundaries up. You have to put the expectation and be clear, be concise. And we don't do it all the time because, you know, for my kids, I will give my left and my right hand. But at the end of the day, what I'm used to do my designs with, you know what I'm saying? What I'm gonna do to direct people with, and
That's
how I'm
the
gonna drive.
sacrifice that you're making. That's that
It is.
sacrifice.
Yep, absolutely. All right. Wow, great topics. We're getting ready to close out over here. So, but before we go, we want you to take a deep breath with us and just breathe. And whatever you're carrying with you right now, just honor it. Honor whatever you're carrying right now. And just know that you do not, I repeat, you do not have to have it all figured out. You just have to keep choosing yourself. You just have to keep choosing the things that are going to make you happy. You're going to have to keep choosing what it is that's good for you, that's right for you. And sometimes it doesn't always look pretty. It may look like a hot mess, but sometimes it just looks like rest. Sometimes it looks like what we talked about earlier. It looks like boundaries. Sometimes it looks like walking away. But remember, you're still here. You're still here. We're still here.
Yes.
Stuff tried to take us out multiple times over and over and over and over again. We are still here breathing. Something that someone else would love to have right now is what we are doing, is breathing, is living. So remember that before any of your problems, before any of your issues, you have life, and that matters. And thank you all for joining us today. Thank you for always supporting us. Until next time, Soul Sis is here to rock with you, to help you protect your peace, to help give you some grace and help you keep growing through your chaos.
Yes.
All right, everybody. Have a good rest of your day. Until next time, same place.
Bye.